Thank you, Mr. Chair. Merci pour l'invitation d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui.
Thank you for inviting me to be here with you today.
And I'm the President and CEO of the Hotel Association of Canada. I am also the founder and co-chair of the Coalition of the Hardest Hit Businesses, which represents over 120 different business associations in the tourism, hotel, and event sectors. COVID-19 has had a devastating impact on Canada's travel and hospitality sectors. It has hurt our businesses more than 9/11, SARS, and the Great Depression combined. The accommodation sector itself saw a 71% decline in revenue from April to November of 2020. Hotels located in Canada's major urban cores have been the hardest hit of the hardest hit, with occupancy rates averaging less than 17% over the last 9 months of 2020. Our sector has now lost the better part of 2 years of business, and we are at a breaking point. Government support to this date has been our lifeline, and I want to thank every member of this committee and your colleagues for working together to keep our sector alive. It's why we have an industry still standing here today. But without Bill C-2's Tourism and Hospitality Recovery Program for the coming winter and spring, there will be significant business failures and sizable job losses. As the rest of the economy recovers, the tourism industry continues to deal with variants, changing restrictions and capacity limits. Tourism remains the hardest hit, and it is not expected to recover to 2019 levels until 2025. Small family-run businesses make up 99% of the tourism sector in Canada. Many people assume that hotels are owned by the international recognized brand on that hotel, but the reverse is true. Those hotels in your ridings are, and you probably know who they are people in your riding that generally own those hotels. These are small business operators who have now spent all of their livelihoods and reserves trying to keep these assets afloat. They have taken on as much debt as they possibly can, and now they are on the brink of survival. Major festivals, concerts, Indigenous tourism experiences, and business events have been canceled. Events planned for 2022 are being reconsidered, and even immediate travel plans to Canada for Christmas or to come and ski over the winter are being called off due to new variants. Put simply, we are at a standstill. Perhaps the most heartbreaking fact of all is that tourism lost 880,000 workers in the first 2 months of the pandemic, and today we employ 350,000 fewer people than before the pandemic. With our slow recovery compared to the rest of the economy, most of these workers have now permanently left our sector. According to our survey of the Coalition of the Hardest Hit Businesses from June, 60% said they would go out of business without an extension of government relief programs through winter of 2022. Simply put, if Bill C-2 doesn't pass, we could lose the infrastructure that supports our events businesses in Canada, the unique local attractions that enhance our visitor experience, and the hotels and event spaces that anchor the travel sector. We are grateful that all parties offered support to our sector during the election campaign. Every party committed support to our sector. Bill C-2 accomplishes the key goal of providing support only to the hardest hit of the hardest hit businesses in order to keep them alive. This is an investment in a sector that will come back with a vengeance if given the opportunity. It will also help keep people in the workforce that would otherwise be laid off, many of whom are Canada's most vulnerable: women, young people, and immigrants. We are recommending the swift passage of this bill today without amendments. Tourism and accommodation businesses must have immediate access to liquidity to get through the winter. Passing Bill C-2 in its current form will save thousands of businesses and jobs. Travel will resume with a vengeance. Of this, we are certain. With the passage of this bill, we will have an industry still standing on the other side of this pandemic, and we cannot wait to welcome the world back to Canada. I urge all members of this committee to vote in favor of this bill and pass it without delay. Our survival depends on it.